Hey guys, hey everyone. A bit of a rough start for Digital Olympus, so I'll try to pick it up. The previous presentation, as Alex told me, has been recorded, so you can watch Gianluca's presentation in full later on when the girls release it. And I'll be talking today about the guest posting. The blog we're in is called Morning SEO Workout. So many people use guest posting as a link building tool. We at Serpstat use it mainly as a marketing tool. So I'll be talking from the marketing perspective, but you can just move it on to the link building perspective or any other, just advertising, whatever you want to do with guest posting, that's up to you. I'll just show you what we do to increase the number of guest posts that we publish, how we automate the process, and some tips and tricks on how to get in touch with editor, how to woo them to work with you. Just some stuff that we have been using for a few months, and some tips and tricks on how to get in touch with. There's an echo. I think just some stuff that we have been using. Olympus and okay, should be fixed now. Okay. At Serpstat, we have started using a new approach to guest posting. Before that, we just had copywriters or editors who were browsing the websites, finding some interesting opportunities, and they were moving on to write an outreach email and try to work with that. Was not that great because the results were not as good as we expected, mainly because the time was limited and you would have to find the addresses, send an email, get the response, and close the deal, which usually takes a few emails to write. So every time you receive a response, you write an email, then you go move on to the next one, you have to find those emails, and so on and so forth. I'll start my presentation now, and I will show you what we do and how it works for us. Okay, should be around here. Right. Move on to the beginning and do this. So the title here is Get Your Guest Posting Submissions Published, Useful Tips and Automation of the Process. This is information about me. My name is Igor. I work at Serpstat. For those who are not familiar, it's an all-in-one SEO tool for backlink analysis, rank tracking, competitor analysis, keyword research. Most of the questions we get about Serpstat is how is it different from SEMrush or Ahrefs? It's not that different. It's a similar tool with different databases. So just if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. I will have this same slide at the end of my presentation. So if you have any questions about this presentation or anything related to Serpstat or SEO or marketing, you can contact me and ask away. You can send me an email or just add me on Facebook and I'll answer that. Okay. So guest posting, how it works for us, how the process looks. So first of all, you have to find a suitable website because obviously you won't just go and write a guest post about marketing on website for mechanics, right? Then you have to write an outreach email. Then you have to receive a reply. So you have to make that outreach email good enough for it to get a reply. Then you have to make sure that you're providing value to the editor or owner of the website. And through that value, you have to receive a positive reply or close the deal. Then you have to create the content and submit it. So the first few steps are the hardest and time consuming, and that's what we were trying to fix. The tools we're using for this process are mentioned. It's the tool that monitors everything that happens online. You can monitor keywords, you can monitor websites, and anytime that keyword appears online, Mention will send you a notify. It will send you a link like on this website there was something published that used the keyword you used or the competitor's name or anything. Then we use reply.io, reply app, for automated outreach emails. Great tool. I'll show you how to work with that. And we use Serpstat for coming up with ideas and providing additional value, and because we're writing about Serpstat. As for the last tool, you absolutely don't have to use it 100%. If you have different ideas of providing value, I'll show you how we do that with the help of Serpstat. As for coming up with ideas, the method shown here with SERPs that you can use for free is for our search suggestions tool. So you can just use it anytime. It's great for coming up with ideas. I'll show you why later on. So does it work? It does. It works for us, and here's why it should work for anyone, because our market is actually very competitive. And when an editor or website owner receives a letter from an SEO tool, there are some concerns, right? So first of all, they think that we can do that for an SEO purposes. No one likes that. Like, I don't want something to be published on my website just so you could get a backlink. We're not doing that. We're doing the second bad thing. We're advertising our product. So another problem here is why would I publish something about your product just to advertise it and not get anything in return? As a side note, I must say, since we started using this algorithm, like 95% of our submissions are free. We do pay for some, like we have some good blog, and the blogger says like, yeah, I would publish it, but it's an advertisement, and I would like to get paid. And then we work on that. But most of the submissions we do, they are published for free because people also need content, not just money. So let's start with the algorithm. It starts with finding the opportunities or those websites that I was talking about. So for a marketing company, you have to find a website about marketing, right? You can just Google that and be like best marketing blogs 2016. You get a list of 100 blogs. Most of them are like good top blogs, like search engine journals, and all that. They don't receive guest posts and submissions from just anyone. You either have to be friends with an editor, you have to be a respected writer, or you have to be a very well-known tool, which us and SERPstat are not. No one knows about SERPstat in the West yet. We're not great writers. We don't have any submissions on big blogs. We're new guys on the market, so no one knows us. That doesn't work for us. So we do that with mention. We collect mentions of our competitors. I mentioned before that we get compared to SEMrush and Ahrefs and SpyFu and whatnot. So we monitor mentions of those tools. And basically, if someone writes about SEMrush, why wouldn't he write about SERPstat? Since tools are similar, at least we know that that website is within the subject that we are working with, right? So when you're setting up the mention, you can start monitoring your own company. You can monitor a competitor or anything else. We actually monitor keywords from the anything else category because it's simpler than monitor a competitor because we can add 5 at once. Yeah, here's how it looks when you're setting up the monitor anything else mention, right? So you choose the keywords. For example, here for us would be SEMrush, Ahrefs, and other competitors. For you, might be your competitors or just the keywords you're interested in. For example, floral decoration, wedding bouquet, bridal bouquet, just anything if you're, for example, a florist, right? You add those keywords and mention will monitor them. We also have to use the excluded keywords to get cleaner results. For example, when we're monitoring Moz, we get a lot of references to the singer Morrissey, or some people use Moz as a shortened word for mozzarella sticks or whatever. So we get a bunch of that spam. We filtered it out, so we would remove words like cheese or singer or Morrissey. If the word is used in combination with any of that, it won't show up in our feed, and we won't have to look through all of that irrelevant content. Let's move on further. Yeah, exclude on content just so we don't monitor our own. That's not a very important step. Here's the more important one. You pick the languages you want to monitor. We use English and the sources. We stick with web, news, and blogs. If you decide to include forums or Twitter, you won't get much content, but you'll get a lot of references that you will have to look through and sort them out. As you know, if anything, something gets published, for example, in Search Engine Journal, the Twitter bots pick that up, and you will have like 400 tweets about that article on your feed. We don't want that, so we remove those. And here's what we get as a result, right? Here's a feed of us monitoring a competitor for publishing opportunities, for finding websites that could publish about us. The keywords with competitors are highlighted so I can look them through. I go to the website, and what do I do with that? Once we found the website, we don't start just mailing them. First thing we do, we collect the contact details. We collect email addresses if possible. If not, we collect. A lot of websites have email forms, so you cannot just send them an email. You have to use the form on the website. The forms are different things, so we are sticking to the websites that have email addresses to which we can send outreach emails automatically from reply.io. Here's an example of what we collect. We collect the company name, so there will be a website name or a blog name, then a contact email, and if possible, we are finding the name of the website owner. If not possible, we're just putting their friends, guys, folks, just regular expressions. And then we're creating emails. They will be sent to those websites constantly. Reply app creates you can create a campaign of several letters. We use 4. So here's how our campaign looks like. Every 3 days or 2 days, we send out an email to the addresses from this list, right? So we add this to the reply, and we send them this email. On the day 1, we send them the email with offer of collaboration. If they don't respond, 2 days later, they receive another one as a reminder. If they don't respond, they receive another one in 2 days. And if they still don't respond, they receive the last email in which we just want to learn why they didn't respond and just tell them that we'll stop sending this from now on. Anytime a person can opt out from these emails, or if the person replies to an email, he won't receive the rest of them, right? So if you reply to the first email, you won't receive step 2, step 3, and step 4. Here's what we offer in our outreach email. The first letter is the most important because you have to put in as much information about your company and your offer as possible without making it too long, so you make sure the person reads it. As you can see, we have the elements here like company and first name. These are automatically added by reply from our list that we had before. Remember, we had the company name, the address, and the name of the person. If the first name is missing, it will say like, "Hi guys," and it goes like that. We make sure to put in the value in the first email. We don't put any links because if you're sending out like 200 emails, they may get locked by spam filters of mail services. So we don't want that. So first email, no links, clear value for the editor, and information about the company. As for the value, we put in our referral program. So if someone makes a purchase by following the link from your website, you can make money. That's always good. People love money. The second thing we want to tell about our product, how great it is, like how we were #1 on Product Hunt in tech category, how we are the most upvoted SEO tool on Product Hunt, right? So the editor, the person knows like, okay, it seems legit. If I write about it, no one will think that it's garbage, right? So it seems to be a good tool, and they have something to offer, I'll reply to them. I'll show you. Okay, so and we get the reply by offering value, showing information about the company, and stating the clear offer. Like, we want to publish on your website. Here's why, and here's what you get from it. Just to show you how it works, you import the CSV file, the one that I showed you before with names and all that, and it creates a list of people in your campaigns. And you receive the replies here or also to your email as you decide. For me, it's actually more comfortable to check the replies inside the reply app because I can monitor different campaigns of our workers. We have several people working on this. I'll show you the stats. Okay, that's a very good one. The open rate of 64% out of 215 people, and the reply rate of 17.1. Try getting that from a newsletter of your company. We never had an open rate on our own emails above 50% that we send out to our users, right? So 64.6 is a great number for us for open rate, and 17.1 reply rate is even better. Most of the replies we get are positive. So here's what we get from it, right? So we optimize the process. We don't have to look for the websites on our own. We find them and they're relevant. We collect the email addresses and we don't have to send out emails one by one. We just load them into the campaign and we send them out. Since they're relevant and we have an offer inside, we have a good open rate and a good reply rate. 200 emails, that's probably a week's worth of collecting the addresses. So in 1 week, we can get a 31 positive reply on our guest post submission. Before that, that will be probably like 3 a week. Okay, let's move on to tips and tricks on how to offer additional value. First of all, I forgot to put it in the slides, but we use female name when we're sending out outreach emails. I don't want to sound sexist, but people are more open to talking to women. Even if you have a guy working on that, it's better to use a female name. Women are more friendly to each other. Men are willing to help them. If you're sending out an outreach email as a man can see you as a competitor. Even subconsciously, women may see you as cocky and why are you writing to me and all that. So just as a small tip, right? The rest of providing value, I explained before. In one letter, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of value in one small letter. Affiliate program, the benefits of our product, how our content is great. We always state that our content is written by professionals, and it is because we have a lot of people here, and if the copywriter or content manager doesn't know what to write about, he can just open the door next to his office and ask the analytics there, like, guys, can you help me out here? I want to write something about grouping keywords into semantic clusters. They will send him some materials and he will make a good article out of that. Second good thought is finding out what the website you're writing to ranks for. For example, we can find that searchenginejournal.com, it says conference for some reason, ranks on the second page of Google. We can filter on top 11 to 20 positions, so second page, for keywords like keyword tools or keywords planner, right? Let's imagine that it's any other website, not Search Engine Journal. They will obviously ignore letters like, hey, I can write an article about the keyword tools for you. But any other website that ranks for a keyword on the second page of search, you tell them, hey guys, I have just checked your website and it seems like you are stuck on the second page of Google for this keyword. How about we write an article optimized for it that you can put up on your blog and improve your ranking for it. That's always a plus, an additional value for the website's owner, additional traffic to him. Plus, we always share our articles on our social media channels. You will get more traffic. People will recognize your website more. So you have that. So you're picking keywords. You're showing them that they can improve their ranking for these keywords and increase organic traffic. I forgot about the only questions tool, so the one I mentioned before. We have autocomplete suggestions tool where you type in the keyword. You can use one from here, like keywords tool. And we will show you what questions people ask on Google, like what keyword tools are the best. These questions are long tail keywords. So you can add them to your offer. You can say, I can also use this as a title. Check this out. People are looking for it. They are asking this question on Google. So the article on your blog may show up first, and again, you will increase your organic traffic. And yeah, as a summary, it's the same thing that I said before. Just create campaigns, send out outreach emails, provide value in your offers, and you can increase the number of your guest posting submissions. We were actually struggling with that. We had a plan to publish as much as possible, but in the end, we were stuck in, as I was saying, like 3 a week or 2 a week or none a week. And since we automated the process, we are now receiving, as shown before, 31 positive reply a week. Not exactly an offer to publish, but at least people are saying something along the lines like, yeah, let's give it a go. What do you have to offer? And we can start a conversation, and that's it. For me, I find this information useful and increase the number of your guest posts by using our algorithm.
Thank you very much, Igor. It was really just, like kind of an outline that everyone can follow, and it was really structured. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just, I share your ideas that you firstly need to provide value. Don't just, kind of ask random people about that, just, build a relationship.
Right.
And then you can just, ask someone to link to you if your content deserves that. Thank you very much one more time, and we are moving smoothly to our next speaker, and that's Razvan Gavrilas. Am I right with your surname?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So Razvan, he's a founder of 2 tools, and that's what you should check definitely, because if you are interested in link building, then that's the right tool for you. Cognitive SEO, you should go there, check it. It has tons of different insights, especially if you're like, you like technical side, not only PR, just, kind of what you use, not only PR approach, then cognitive SEO, that's the best tool to follow. And on top of that, Igor has already mentioned that you can, you have an approach in link building to turn brand mentions into links. And so Razvan, he has another one too, brand mentions. And actually I use brand mentions quite a lot, and I would say that's an awesome tool if you really want to track mentions of your brand, of your personal brand, company, competitors, whatever it is. It has a tons of awesome insights and features. You can build trends, graph, whatever it is. And so yeah, just, like guys, just and I'll pass everything to Razvan directly. So he's going to tell you more about his tools, his approaches, and how he builds links, and so how he just, giving a piece of advice about that.
Okay, thank you for the intro, Alexandra. So I'm Razvan Gavrilas. I'm the founder of Cognitive SEO and Brand Mentions. Cognitive SEO is turning 6 years old this year, actually these days. We started in 2010, and we are now a full-fledged SEO platform. And last year we started another venture, the Brand Mentions tool, which at the moment is offered for free, and in the following months we are going to launch the commercial version with a lot more features and a lot more stuff. Okay, so let me try sharing my screen now so we can start the conversation. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I hope everything is fine and is streaming okay. So link building in 2017. A lot of people talk about link building, and it's a natural way. But as you surely know, Google has started penalizing sites for a couple of years with penalties such as Google Penguin and manual penalties for building unnatural links. So in this presentation, I'm going to share with you some tips and strategies on how to continue to build links and how to do strategic SEO in the following years in a way that will not get you penalized by Google. Okay, so it's about Google penalties. First of all, that's why we are talking how to build links and not get penalized by Google. So in 2016, Google launched the Google Penguin 4.0. A lot of webmasters have been waiting for Penguin 4.0 for a couple of years already, and practically what it brought new to the table is that the Penguin is now real time, as Google officially said on their Webmaster Center blog. What this means is that they can apply instant penalties and recoveries, not like the previous Penguin algorithms that will practically apply the penalty, and you will have to wait for another Penguin release to be able to unlock the penalty and recover your traffic. Penguin is now more granular, as they say here on their side. What this means exactly is that it may impact individual URLs or directories on a site. So if you get unnatural links only to one page from your site, you will see only that page being penalized in the Google search. Okay, so this is one example, one site. It's called smartfares.com, which had a penalty for 3 years. You don't want to be there. So for the 4th of October 2013, they were hit by the Penguin 2.1, and after 3 years of low SERP rankings and the low SEO visibility and low traffic from Google, they saw a recovery with the Penguin 4.0. So that's why I thought about giving this presentation, so you don't get into this kind of situation where your site is being penalized for a long period of time and you can't do anything really about it. So how does the Penguin affect my future SEO? First of all, it affects the way you think about building links and about SEO in general. So we will be talking about organic links, and by organic means I mean the definition that Google is giving in their guidelines, telling webmasters that an organic link is a link that is earned in a natural way. It's not a link that was placed there with the intent of manipulating the search engine's positions for your site. And here is a very nice picture, that very funny picture actually, and it says like this: something is wrong, our air is clean, our water is pure, we exercise a lot, all we eat is organic, but nobody lives more than 30 years. And this can apply to SEO. So SEO without a strategy is like driving blindfolded. If SEO like 6 years ago or 5 or even 5 years ago, it was very easy to rank a site quickly by just building some links on web directories, or for some blog comments, or just bought some articles and you pointed some commercial anchor text to your site. You could easily get that site high in the SERPs. It's not that this doesn't work anymore, and if you want to still get rankings, you need to think from two perspectives actually. So it's either manual link building or pure link earning, like Google says. I would say that we can go both ways. So it's both the pure link earning way, or the link earning way, and the manual link building in a way that still is white hat and is not against the Google guidelines. And I will be starting with step number one. Earning the first link. And it's very important to see here that it's not about getting the first link, it's about earning the first link. I always say, don't beg for it, earn it. It's much easier than to send hundreds of emails and asking for links to be placed on some blog or on some site, that to earn it and get people's attention and create traction and brand awareness for your product or for your site or for whatever blog you may have. And I will be giving you some examples of strategies in the following slides. My time will not allow me to, my dedicated time here in this presentation will not allow me to share with you tons of strategies, because there are a lot of strategies that are white hat link earning strategies. I will be only sharing a couple of them. So strategy number one, interview experts and influencers. It's a pretty known strategy. If done well, it can bring awareness and it can create relationships. And as a byproduct, of this strategy, you'll also be creating links and referring domains. This is an example from our own blog on Cognitive SEO. Link building experts talk about Google Penguin. So it was a great opportunity for us to interact with known people in the industry, because we were in the beginning with the tool at the time of the writing, and by doing so, you generate those connections. The people will automatically share, most of them, the article that you will publish, because it's their opinion there. And as you see, it organically got all those shares on all the social networks and all the referring domains. What I would recommend, though, as a side note to this strategy, is if you are new to a market, there are, I classify influencers and in three categories. Level 1, very highly influential. Level 2, medium influencer, and level 3, lower influencers. I would recommend to go with, in the beginning, with the lower influencers and with a spice of medium influencers. After you get a brand that is known, you can go to the level 1 influencers that you will try to convince to get to share their opinion on your blog. This is because a lot of people abuse this kind of strategy, and highly influent people will not even answer to your outreach. Okay, strategy number 2, link bait. This is an example from a site called concerthotels.com. It created a page, a dedicated page for the world's greatest singers, and they classified it by their vocal ranges. And they did a nice job from a visual point of view and from a informational point of view. So you see, it went viral. They got a lot of shares on Facebook, and as a result, they also got a lot of referring domains and links pointing to their to this particular page, increasing the authority of the main site. So much more people heard about the concerthotels.com site in the end. Strategy number 3, create best-in-class content. Easier to said than done. And here is an example on keyword. If you search for how to create a website, you will see an answer box. Google already created an answer box from this page, which tells us that they consider this a very good website, a very good website for this specific topic, for the how to create a website topic. And as you see, this is a page dedicated to this topic, how to make a website. They created it very, very well in terms of content. And as you see, they got over 2,000 referring domains and 35,000 links. You can do this with any particular keyword. So if you would search if you're doing keyword research and you decide to write for a list of keywords, you would search for those keywords and those topics and see if there is best-in-class content written for it. If it's not, you can create that best-in-class content. And if it is, maybe you can create something better than that, or target other keywords. Strategy number 4, build free tools. So all these strategies until now are about earning links organically. You don't ask for any kind of link. So this is a VAT calculator. The VAT in Europe is a tax for those who are not familiar with it. So you can, if you're in this kind of niche, you can build a VAT calculator. And as you see, this example got a lot of referring domains, 700 over 700 referring domains for this tool. If you search for this keyword, you will see a lot of other calculators, either main sites or dedicated landing pages on bigger sites. Strategy number 5, aggregate data and create stats. For the keyword credit card statistics in 2015, the NerdWallet site created a case study with aggregated data from multiple data sources, which is probably free to get, and created it in a very visual way, and people loved it. As you can see, the result is they shared it, and a lot of them linked it, and Google ranked it for this particular keyword. So people love statistics, and if you combine statistics with great visuals, you will get great results. Okay, so these are the strategies on the step 1 that I could share with you with my limited time today. Step number 2 is why I call it white hat link influencing. Other people call it manual link building. I would say that we are okay with it from a Google's perspective, because we are not trying to directly influence a particular SERP. We are only trying to maximize the effort that we have done until now with the link earning strategy. And again, here are some strategies. Strategies number 1, target the media mentions page. So the media mentions page is a page on, some sites have this page where they link to other articles that mention them. In this example, we have the Q site, which has this media mentions page, and they list all of the articles that mentioned them around the web. And to get mentioned to get a link from them, you simply need to mention them somewhere on an article that you are writing. Send them an email, and they will mention you there. There are a lot of sites like this, and you can get a lot of links from media mentions page. So it's a pretty straightforward, very easy to tackle, and very easy to automate kind of strategy, while I would say that it's purely white hat. Strategy number 2, identify dead businesses. So if I would be selling Nike shoes or any kind of shoes online, I am in a niche where this guy, which has lost his site, murphysairmaxdk.com, is a site that I just checked yesterday. This is what Google Chrome gave me. This site can't be reached, and the domain is available to be registered. You see they have 274 referring domains, and all of them have anchor text like Nike Air Max and all of kind of variations. What you can do here is simply buy this domain and create content, put content on it that would then relate to your main site. Or you can write to the people that link to this site and tell them, look, this guy's business is dead. You can switch your link on your page to my content, which is even better than this guy's site. So you can easily apply this not only to sites that are expired, domains that are expired, but you can apply this strategy to sites that are out of business, to sites that are no longer maintained and for some reason lost part of the content on their site. Okay, so strategy number 3, send handwritten notes. This is a statistic that I got from one of these sites, so open rates by medium. They say that handwritten letters, 99%, printed mail, 56%, email, 30%. I'm sure that if you got in your mailbox a handwritten postcard from someone whom you met on the internet, or from whatever site that wants to get your attention, you will be impressed by it, and it will create pregnant memory, an important memory about that brand. These are some of the sites that allow you to do that on a mass scale, so you don't have to write them by hand. There are services like Letterfriend and Bodent.com and others. If you will search for this kind of sites that automate the process, and for a couple of dollars they take care of the writing of the note and mailing the note and all this stuff. And you can do it to your customers. You can send them to your customers. You can send them to some influencers. Maybe you can send them to some potential prospects of your business, and you will be able to also generate links from it, because some of them will be will share them on social media and maybe write even blog posts about this. Strategy number 4, link reclamation, the link reclamation technique. So this is a snapshot of Microsoft.com. I did it yesterday in the Cognitive SEO Site Explorer, and there is the broken pages area here, where you can practically see all of the pages that are 404, 403, 501, and so on a site, and the links associated with those pages. What this means is that in this situation, Microsoft gets a lot of broken link juice. So all of these referring domains and millions of links that are pointing to these pages which are broken are creating a bad user experience, first of all, and also practically they have a lot of pages which existed there, don't exist anymore, don't rank anymore in Google, and it's not bringing anything good to them. The solution is very simple. If you would be Microsoft, or if you have this kind of pages on your site, if you have broken pages on your site with links, you are able to simply put a 301 redirect from that page to a similar content, or create content there that is similar to what it used to be. You can also use an inverted link reclamation technique. I like to call it like this. If you see this on a competitor's site, so if you see on a competitor's site, you can go to the sites that are linking to the broken page on your competitor's site and tell them that, you see, this site doesn't have this content anymore. You can simply replace the link with my link that I'm giving you here, which has better content, and so on and so forth. Strategy number 5. So the brand mentions technique, unlinked brand mentions technique, it works both ways. 3 steps. So first of all, you can set alerts in tools like brand mentions, Google Alerts, that will notify you when your brand or a specific keyword is mentioned. Here I'll be talking about the brand. So I set up an alert in brand mentions to notify me daily about mentions on the keywords cognitive SEO or cognitive SEO in 2 words. I get the mentions on a daily basis, and when I'm reading the sites that mentioned our brand, I simply connect with the people that wrote those articles. The connection is very natural because someone who already mentioned your brand is very familiar and open to a connection with you. So here you see I'm inviting Adrian to connect on LinkedIn, telling him that I just wanted to say thanks for mentioning cognitive SEO in his latest article on Forbes, and that I found it quite interesting, and the unique methodology that he applied using the tool. In the next step, because he will reply, and even if he doesn't reply, I will write again. This is another scenario where the person that mentioned cognitive SEO didn't link to our brand. So I simply asked for a link there, not directly, but as you see here, I told him that I appreciate for the cognitive SEO mention, and was wondering, why did you choose not to link to it when you link to all the other sites? And he replied that we really like our tool and have used it quite a bit in the past. And he didn't actually mean to leave it out, and it was a mix with the link up in their CMS or whatever. So they put the link, they put the link up, and we got a lot of you can get a lot of links like this using the brand mentions technique, monitoring your brand and getting the links where people didn't actually put those links, because it increases the user experience for the people that are reading their articles. Final step, monitoring your KPIs. So it's always important to do analyze, research, implement, and monitor. So we are at the final step of monitoring. your KPIs, and I chose 3 important KPIs that I would recommend to monitor. The first KPI is the SEO visibility, and by SEO visibility, I'm talking about a number that will reflect how visible you are in Google. This is an example from the Cognitive SEO Site Explorer in the rankings area. Here, you will see for the site producthunt.com how it evolved over time in the last couple of years, combined with the Google update, so we can see if they got dropped or increased in this particular in their growth. It's important to see this and monitor this so you know that you're doing is having an impact on SEO directly. You can also see the keywords and the positions that you're ranking here. KPI number 2, link acquisition speed. Link acquisition speed is important because you can see how fast you are acquiring links, and you can correlate that to the effort that you're putting in creating content, in creating free tools or whatever you're doing to earn those links and influence their appearance in a white hat way. And KPI number 2, it's also very important to monitor your penalty risk, because if you're not monitoring your penalty risk, you may find out someday that your rankings have dropped and you have no idea why. Like a lot of website owners noticed using a tool like Cognitive SEO is very simple for you, because you can even set up email alerts that will notify you when a high number of unnatural links is being sent to your site. Okay, so ask me your questions. Let me share. Let me stop the screen sharing and share again my camera. If it's working. 1 second.
Igor, are you with us as well? I see Gianluca.
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Yeah, actually, just before I'm going to pick up some questions from our Twitter feed. I have a question to you guys, because we had some section about buyers personas that is more like what I would say really close to developing your product and to just more like strategical approach to your business. But as far as we have a massive part about link building, my question is, what is the most to each of you, what is the most scalable link building strategy? And so Razvan, what do you think about that? The most scalable one.
The most scalable strategy.
Yeah, when it comes to link building.
So I would say that you can do content. You can scale content in a way that that works. You first need to understand what kind of content works for your site and for your particular niche. In our case, for example, it works in-depth content. So if we are writing short content stuff, which is basic, it doesn't work very well. Obviously, this is the kind of content that scales best, but it doesn't work in our case. So we found a way to scale even in-depth content via a methodology that we use internally to create the topics that we are going to write about. So I would say that link earning can be done in a scalable way via content nowadays, and in a pure white hat way, because I'm talking only from a white hat link building perspective here.
Okay, but what? Okay, like but it might be really expensive actually, because you need a lot of copywriters. You need generate those ideas, and if we talk about analytical content, that's what I believe you mean by in depth. You need developers, or at least you need to hire someone, and that's a lot. It's like it's a long process. That's that's a lot of
unfortunately SEO, as it used to be, like I said in my presentation, not something that is hit and run. So it involves much more. The costs are higher. The time that you spend for creating all this strategy, content, awareness, it's much more than it used to be, and I don't see a very cheap way of doing it, unless you have something that people love, and then it naturally goes, it's viral, and you actually do nothing than the product. But for most of the products, this is not the case. This is not the reality, and you need to struggle in a world where everyone struggles, and you need to be different and better than someone else, some other competitor or whatever.
Okay, yeah, got it. What are your thoughts, Gianluca? Because I know you have a really wide range of experience as far as you work with international projects. What are your thoughts?
Yes, I'm mostly, especially I agree with what Raz was saying, but I think it also really depends on the niche, the market niche. For instance, recently started working for World Reference. And I think that World Reference really is a good example of that if you are able to work on a community and then nurture this community in order to give the best possible environment where this community can grow itself, you are going to substantially win the market, because let's say World Reference is it's a dictionary substantially, but the secret is not in the dictionary, because if it was so, it was, you can see, let's say Collins and any other more formal dictionaries having success. But the success of World Reference is in the forum. And maybe one of the problems that SEO has in general is that they always work for earning new visitors all the time, and forget the returning visitors. If you are able to create an environment for this returning visitor to start being your really strong brand ambassador and community, you are going to have to substantially win a lot of linking coming, social sharing coming in the future, because they are going to be your brand ambassadors and the people referencing to you without even asking. And so if we think at most, for instance, in the past, in the SEO space, it was content, and then being in the right moment and able to attract to the blog people that are now really important in our SEO community. And so starting, thanks to this, just hitting publish and start earning links. So I think it's more a question of how to earn trust, and from there you can start. Let's say will arrive at the moment where the site is going to earn links without even you working on it. The problem is how to create this trust. So I think that many of the techniques that are manual in building that Raz was sharing are still they are scalable, and they are the ones that can help you earning that kind of a popularity and authority in Google terms. So to start having Google itself, the algorithm, started choosing you when another website for other things that you are not really creating any link building campaign, because somehow it's when you start earning the trust of Google for certain niche of topics, then Google will start proposing your site also for that kind of content that you are not really earning any links. And that way, those manual link building tactics that are still working are really, really scalable for me, or my opinion. And then, obviously, creating content is costly. The problem is that SEO is always considered cheaper than doing online marketing, PPC or something like this, but it's not so true.
They work hand in hand, Gianluca, I think, because you can't do all the others without having something of value already.
Yes, but let's say that you can, as the content way needs a longer term, a longer time to start the flywheel. Then with the other, you can obviously start creating a first step of popularity. And then obviously, if you are doing something like you do the roundups, really well done roundups, because many are shitty, so sounds really shitty. And you are creating. Important is finding your discovering really what are the questions that people. That's why the buyer persona I was talking about before. It's important also for these kind of things, because if you don't know what are the needs, the pain points, what can the expectation of your audience, you can write and just write for yourself. You are not going to really answer anything.
Yeah, you need always to measure the engagement that you have on everything that you're creating, and you will surely have something that has very low engagement and something that has higher engagement, and tend to focus on the things that have higher engagement.
And maybe it's as a tip, the good interesting thing would be, if especially for a website or a business that is starting, is to go. You didn't. This is a quite common tactic. You didn't mention it, but so for instance, see what question are asked on Quora about your niche and doesn't receive any answer, or receive just a couple of answers, or really not interesting, not really fulfilling answer. We discovered that kind of question that are not in yours. Maybe they are really niche question, but they are asked and nobody's asking them, and nobody is answering them.
Yes.
This is a good way in order to start being noticed. And then you can always, if you're, for instance, you want to create some sort of link baiting content, you can start seeing what Gianluca is calling the random affinity. So maybe you are, let's say, you are in engine space, motor space, and or insurance space, and let's say you just discover that your user are also fans of Star Wars. Now is coming Rogue One, and let's say doing some sort of how would cost to create an insurance for the X-Wing, something like this. How to calculate the calculator, as you were saying, for starships. So doing this, you can start also targeting this kind of with this kind of content. You can start targeting sites like Mashable or BuzzFeed that they need to put content every day. And it's fine. It's also remember that this kind of site like Mashable has local edition, or Huffington Post has local edition. So if it's not really working for the American edition, go for the British one, or do a Spanish edition for the Spanish Mashable. So one of them is going to pick.
So I'm wondering, because Igor was so shy during this conversation, I'm sure you have a couple of things to add.
Yeah, I have a different opinion when it comes to links. As I mentioned before, we don't do link building. We don't care too much about that, which is the marketing. But that doesn't mean I don't have my other projects that I work on. And when it comes to links, I don't think that content is king. I think that content is basis to which you put links. And from my experience, the best source of links is just buying links. I go to link stock exchange websites like SAPE, and I spend probably a fraction of the cost that people spend on content and trying to share it and spread it and get back links from some websites. And I get links. I pick websites that I want. That are relevant to my website that I want to promote. I buy links. I get ranks. It is risky. Yeah, you can get a filter, especially with Yandex, because the search engine in particular is not favoring links as much as Google, and it's more looking on optimization of the website. So you in Ukraine here, I have to rank website for two search engines, right? Yandex and Google. So I have to look for somewhere in the middle to make sure that Google recognizes a lot of links and gives me favors. And I have to make sure that Yandex doesn't pick up on that I have too many links and doesn't filter me. From my own experience, a decent amount of links can make all the difference. And obviously, I'm not talking about ranking for something very competitive where you actually have to do marketing and write content and spread it, but some markets where you provide service in one city, and the top 10 websites are half informational, the other half is just something someone made on their own in like 2 hours on Wix.com or something like that. Just my go-to tool for link building and backlinks. Just go buy a few dozen links, and not thousand, dozen, and you're set.
This works. This works for sure. But the problem is that if you're, I would say that this works for affiliate sites, for sites that you can easily change. But I'm not sure that this is something that would be recommended for a business site or for a small business site that would need to even change their brand if they get penalized. Because we saw a lot of situations like this with clients of cognitive SEO that they bought links, like you said, and they got penalized. They had to change their brand completely.
Absolutely, happens all the time. Happens all the time. Yet every time I do a research on that, I can stumble upon a very bad, very low quality website that is like 2 months old, sitting on the top 10 for high volume search queries.
But the owner doesn't care about changing their own domain in the next couple of months. So it's a site that's.
I think it's still cheaper, to move to a different domain than it is to invest your time and money and effort into content marketing and get links from that.
Yes,
and
but
still
why don't you do that?
Yes, Igor, it's
your main job. Why don't you do that? Because it's a business that doesn't want to be affiliated with this, doesn't want to risk.
We're not doing that as business service that, but I have like side projects.
But I was asking why, if you recommend it.
I don't. I'm just saying what works for me.
Oh, okay.
If you have a business that you care about, you have a brand, absolutely, by all means.
Yeah,
just
I was talking about serious businesses that. For thin affiliate sites or for personal projects, you can do whatever you want with.
Right, I wouldn't do that with a serious business for the reasons that you said it. You will have to move on to the different domain. Yet still, we have like even the content projects here in our local area. There was an actually interesting case, like published 2 days ago, or actually maybe even yesterday. One of the biggest content projects in Russia that was all about content and was shaming people for SEO and backlinks, and they were saying like content is king. More than 50% of their links are SEO links that they bought.
Oh, so that's their problem, yeah.
Well, that is more hypocrisy than than a strategy. Yeah. But even if going controversial is a good strategy for some niches.
Yeah, for sure. There are niches that
just a different opinion.
Just think about all the political websites in the United States, how they became famous.
And also, I would like to suggest that Google doesn't yet catch all of the bot links and all of the in all of the languages. So, for example, in Romania, you will see a lot of most of the SERPs are full of sites that buy links or have web directory links. Everything that in the US is not ranking anymore for years. Here, still after all of the Penguin releases and manual penalties or whatever, it's ranking as high as possible. So
yeah, and kudos to those guys. I mean, whatever works, I think it's great.
Yeah.
At least
And
we have a
it still
discussion.
works
I mean,
probably
I could have repeated what you guys said, like make content, spread it. I believe in that. We do that. In like my main job is actually doing that. But I mean, there are people watching us. I don't think that Ren Fishkin is watching us and taking notes, right? So he's like, oh, maybe I should buy backlinks, or maybe I should create content. The guys who are big players, they know. But people who have the websites, who want to sell some handmade, I don't know, shoes or whatever, I would say that just buying links, at least try it first. Maybe create a doorway page, something that you don't care about, just to test it, try it out. Why not? It's cheap, it's fast, and you get result.
Actually, I have just, one thing that might work as well, which is really scalable. And it's not like, buying links, but it's buying links from other perspective, I would say. So everyone know those sites like Upwork, for instance, where you can hire copywriter. So like for some niches, like, for instance, for digital marketing niche, I think you need a good copywriter. So the cost per piece will be around $100. But if you if you work like for some other niches, like, for instance, education one, they don't need really high quality content. So they're okay with something, I would say, that doesn't have a lot of mistakes and it makes sense, I would say. So, but it's not like, kind of how-tos, in-depth articles, whatever it is. So you go there, you hire copywriters, the maximum price is like, as I've already mentioned, $100. Then you have a list of sites that accept guest posts, and so in that way your cost per link will be $100 or even less, which is also the way of buying links, but with the help of content, what you've mentioned, which is really what I do sometimes for my clients, and that really works. So you get a really kind of a good content, because if it was accepted by a guest posting service, then you are getting a link, and so you're building a brand and getting links for a really, really cheap price. But the main thing here, that you need to know this industry inside out in order to control the quality of content. Yes, that's the problem. So for instance, I could do that for a digital marketing industry, but I can't do that for, I don't know, for company that produce products for developers, for instance, because I'm not so good in understanding the difference between different types of coding, whatever it is. So you need to have a person on your project side who's really good in terms of understanding the nuances, whatever it is. But in general, it's really cheap, and I would really recommend that for brands that are struggling with getting links, because it's really cheap.
Even so, this is a strategy that might work if you say it for you, but you need to be aware that if Google fingerprints this kind of strategy and can fingerprint it, if you're using, for example, commercial anchor text in all of the guest posts that you're putting there, it might bring a penalty. I actually saw some similar penalties with guest posts like this.
So I would say you shouldn't be stupid. Here's the main rule.
Yeah, you need to know what you're doing. There are so many things that you need to know.
People are getting penalties from valid posts. Like there's a person who sat down, wrote a piece of content, and Razvan said that there are penalties for that. I mean, that was what I was talking about. There's no guarantee that you won't get penalized for doing it otherwise. So, and what Alex said, it's almost a white hat SEO, right? You have a content, you have it published, the person wrote it, but that's venturing into the market.
It depends on a lot of nuances.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
But clean link building, clean buying links, you know all the nuances. You see everything. Like, here's the link, here's what it says. That's all I need to know.
Let Gianluca add something really valuable.
Because we are talking about link building, so the return on investment is the cost per link.
If we are only talking about link building, Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
No,
it's
but what
also
I'm going to talk
brand
to you
awareness.
is about, okay, when you are creating a campaign, if you are going to, let's say, change the objective of a return of investment, because if you are just talking about link, because this is something that I start doing in order to not be obsessed about the number of links, because okay, if the links you are going to do a campaign, I want, let's say, at least this number of links or this kind of links from this kind of website with this page rank. Once was page rank, now we are telling you this domain authorities, blah, blah, blah. So what I usually do with, in order to measure the success of a campaign, I usually tell, okay, obviously link, but there are also other things that this campaign is bringing to you. For instance, social media visibility. How much do you have had to pay for having this kind of visibility for your site? And then this can be also mentioned. How can also traffic, referral traffic? You can track really easily the referral traffic to you generated by your campaign. So how much would you have to pay for PPC for having this kind of organic traffic, the equivalent of organic traffic as a paid traffic with AdWords? So if you are starting to accumulate this kind of results, it's not just a question of how, okay, I spent, let's say, 200 euros for a link. It's, I've generated this campaign was, let's say, 5,000 euros, and it generates traffic which is equivalent for 50,000 euros. So it's much easier, much comfortable. It's much more promising for more understandable also for your client, who usually doesn't really understand what is the market for links, and to understand the value of your campaign. And so from the value from this kind of calculation is going to eventually tell you, okay, let's invest more for other campaigns. So having more money for campaigns, you are going to have really, are able to do things that, for instance, you, Kate, are telling, like, okay, let's hire some copywriters that can easily write on Mashable, can easily write on Forbes. Okay, we receive all this kind of emails every day, but also to do more fascinating content, more better content that is going to really impact in every channel, not just for earning a link. Because if I work for a campaign just for having to, let's say, some links from, I want traffic. My clients just don't want the links for ranking better. They want the links for ranking better and for starting receiving traffic that is converting. This is the kind of client that I have. So I'm not usually just relying on the link as the metric or for calculating the return on the investment. That's
Well, that's marketing. We're talking about SEO, and as I think from SEO perspective, I would charge only organic traffic, the one you get from the search engine, if we are focusing on that, right? So then
I
referral
refer
traffic,
also
the visibility.
organic traffic also from referral, because I think that SEO is not just from search engine, it's also from the campaigns you are creating.
Well,
for
it is
search
search engine optimization, so I mean,
I think it's more search experience optimization. I mean, it's. I agree with you in many things, but I think it's more comfortable. It's more in a middle and to long perspective, better to think in my way.
well, the plus of targeting actually traffic from search engine is that you can analyze the keywords that you're targeting, right, and make a prognosis that you can expect like 70 people to visit your website who are looking for this exact item, right? And when you're doing marketing on social media, yeah, there will be people who will be seeing that, they will be visiting. But
No,
what,
but
what,
I
what are we looking
wasn't
for?
really telling about. I was putting in social media as an example of channel, but it usually is if I'm able to put a link in Mashable, I want to see how
Right.
much traffic is coming from Mashable thanks
Absolutely.
to that link, and how is it's not just the boost that I'm going to have in my rankings for thanks to that link. I want to see also immediate results, because maybe the rankings is not going to be visible in the short term.
Yeah,
Google
it's
has to.
hard to separate. It's hard to separate SEO from social, from all of the kind of traffic that you are receiving nowadays, because you can't create something only from a SEO perspective unless it's one of those manual techniques that I was sharing there, which is simply to get some links, but even those are to get the traffic that is flowing through those links, and the link in the end is the byproduct of a good user experience, because I'm not writing articles to get only SEO traffic. I'm writing the articles to tackle a specific topic that engages with the users, and that if I do it correctly, then it will rank higher in Google, even if it gets links and all the stuff, because the link in the end is the thing that the signal, one of the most important signals in Google and in the other search engines, that tells the algorithm that you are important, that people are talking about you. That's how it converts in metrics.
Yeah, even from SEO, pure SEO perspective, even to index the page faster, your article, you would have to share it in social media to let bots pick it up and
faster
follow the links and index the page. Even from pure SEO, just indexing the page already involves social media advice too. You can actually wait, sit and wait, but who does that? No one.
Okay, I think we have the very last question from Twitter. So that's the easy one, actually. After our really hot discussion about the ethical way of buying, not buying links, how you should buy them. That was like, you know, like really kind of conversation that you've never expected to hear at the digital marketing. That was really interesting. Okay, so the easy question: how much budget should you allocate for content creation? So, for instance, the question about like infographics. So what are your thoughts, Razvan, about that?
If you're thinking, for an infographic, for example, the initial part, I would separate it into, it's the idea of the infographic in three, actually. The idea of the infographic, so you need to do something that was not done before or wasn't done good. The research, which is required, and in the end is the design. So the first two phases are usually internal to a company, because the persons inside the company know better how to create that content, and the final phase, the design of the infographic, can be easily outsourced on sites like you said, and usually you can do it probably for $100 or $200. You can do a super cutting edge infographic from a design style. The initial phase, it really depends on the niche where your business is located. So this really depends on the infographic. If you need to analyze a lot of data, like 1 million rows of data, and create stats from that, and it's something different than doing a quick research in Google for 3 hours and extract some data and create an infographic.
Thank you very much, Razvan. What are your thoughts, Igor? Because I know that you have, better resources when it comes to your market, my market,
actually, contrary to my previous points on link building, I believe that content marketing, at least for us in Ukraine, Russia, that's probably the best investment you can make. It's cheap here. I remember you said, Alex, you were paying $100 for someone to write an article. If I was getting paid, I would be filthy rich. I can write 20 articles a month for a salary, and just, it's all right. So As for how much of a budget to allocate for it, would not give an advice. If someone takes it and it doesn't work, they will blame me. Well, actually, same goes for buying backlinks. Someone will probably do that, and they will say that Igor advised me to buy backlinks, and now I'm underpaying. As for infographics, yeah, what Razvan said, it includes coming up with an idea, getting data, making a research, and then using a designer to create an infographic. We are actually at this exact moment creating another one within Serpstat, and we're actually planning to do that more often because we realized that we were dumb enough to not notice that we actually have a source of data for almost anything. And anyone who has access to tools like Serpstat or Cognitive SEO or Ahrefs, and even more has access to API of those tools, you have unlimited data from search engines that you can do anything with. You can decide, like, let's see what people from United States were looking for on Black Friday the most. Okay, you have the data in the search engine analysis tools, like search analytics tools. So there you have your idea, there you have your data in one place. All that's left is getting a designer to draw it for you. So still, if you have access to data and ideas, it's a good investment. Our last infographic was about the most expensive keywords in UK. And over the last 3 months, that was our most popular content of all that we published. We were planning to publish it somewhere on some good blog. We were talking to people, and then we're like, okay, our title, let's just publish it here on our blog. And it went viral like pretty quick. We're still getting like retweets, hits, and all that. So infographic works, content marketing. If you have if you live in the right area, I mean, I believe in California, content marketing is probably not as cheap as here in Odessa. But I think that I won't give an advice on how much of the budget, but you have to have some part of your budget going into content marketing. That's for sure.
Thank you very much, Igor. Thank you very much, Razvan. That was really interesting discussion. Thank you very much, guys. You were awesome. Thank you for your presentations, for spending this time with us. So I believe we are going to share our slides as well as our videos a little bit later. As well as, guys, by the way, you can find in our digital marketing kit offers from Serpstat and Cognitive SEO, so don't miss them. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our digital marketing kit, you can go and just register on our website in order to take advantage of those offers. And I promise they will be amazing. So thank you very much. And so see you later. Yeah.
Bye.
See you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye. Take care. Hey, Murat. No, you are not in the right session. I'll share with you a link right now. Just give me 1 second, because we are just, we're creating for each section a separated link. So just give me 1 second to do that. And I'll handle that and send you a link. Thank you, guys.